Alright, so this video is all about rectangular prisms. So your learning target for this video is that you can identify rectangular prisms, and your language target is that you can describe rectangular prisms. So the first thing we need to do is actually identify what a rectangular prism looks like. So I wanted to figure out, where do I see rectangular prisms in my everyday life? So that required me at my house. I went around and I looked for items that were packaged in boxes, or the items that were shaped like rectangular prisms. So the first item I found, it was in my pocket, my cell phone. Okay, so my cell phone is in the shape of a rectangular prism. So that's my first example. My second example was in my pantry. Okay, so here I have my peanut butter crunch. Okay, so you notice that the box that the cereal is packaged in is a rectangular prism. Okay, third thing. Okay, I bought a new Wii sensor. The box that the Wii sensor came in is an example of a rectangular prism. And my very last example, I found more, but this is my last example I'm going to share, is my Fast and Furious DVD. Okay, so the case that the Fast and Furious DVD came in is a rectangular prism. So that kind of gives you an idea of what a rectangular prism looks like. Okay, so right now on your papers, I want you guys to really think about, whatever you're doing, think about where you are. You're at your house, you might be at school, you're at a friend's house, wherever you are. I want you guys to look around and see if you can identify some examples of a rectangular prism. Okay, so I shared some examples with you. Yours can be similar to mine. Okay, but try to think outside the box. Where do you see a rectangular prism in your everyday life? Second part is understanding what are the properties of a rectangular prism. Okay, that's going to help you describe to meet our language target. So if we go back to our original items, I'm going to start with our cereal box. Okay, so you notice that however I turn the cereal box, no matter what face that I'm looking at, every single face is in the shape of a rectangle. So one of the properties of a rectangular prism is that all 6 faces are in the shape of a rectangle. The second thing is that it has 3 sets of parallel and congruent sides. So if I'm thinking of my first set, the first set is my front of my cereal box, and that's parallel and congruent to the back of my cereal box. Okay, so my second set would be the top, and then in this case, my base would be this part of my cereal box because it's the part that's actually sitting on. Okay, so your base can change depending on which face it's sitting on. And your last set of parallel and congruent sides is right here and then right here. So where you have the nutritional facts, the calories, things like that, those 2 sides. So there's 3 sets of parallel and congruent sides. So you know how to identify a rectangular prism. You know what they look like. I've shown you some examples. You've come up with your own examples, so now I want you to see if you can describe. So we want to meet our language target, so I want you guys to describe what are the properties of a rectangular prism. Okay, so you have your 2 tasks. Good luck.